Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Today taking a look at the vintage collection release of Poe Dameron from Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Here's a look at the card first, where we have him with his X-Wing in the background on some unknown planet, since I haven't seen the movie yet and we're a week away from that release. But I think the overall photo is looking pretty good. Through the blister, of course, you do see the figure with the two included accessories being the helmet and the blaster. On the back side, no surprises here for the vintage line. Top half gives you a total of 10 figures that are available in the line right now. Top right corner, you can see he's number 160 in the lineup. And bottom half is just legal information, so nothing really to show there. Taking a look at the figure out of the packaging, and overall it's a decent looking figure. And aside from the photoreal painting being done on the face sculpt, this is essentially a re-release of the Black Series that was done for, I forget the year, but for the Force Awakens movie. Here's a look between the two figures. As I already mentioned, you're getting that photoreal face painting on this new figure, and I think that's a nice upgrade compared to what was done prior. Other differences between the two figures is that center part of his flight suit that is showing just underneath his neck was just a little bit brighter on that prior release. Also, you're getting a slight tone difference in the brown pouch that's off on his right side. And then that chest box is just a little bit of a lighter gray color on this new figure. And as far as I can tell, that's where the difference is in. Focusing in just on this newer release, the head sculpt is still pretty decent. Overall, I'd say this is the best version of Poe Dameron that we've received in the 3 3/4 inch line. Certainly that photoreal face painting does help things out quite a bit. Lets that sculpt shine through underneath. I've got to say, I really don't know what's going on with his ears. They look really weird with the way the hair is painted. From the front, it's not too bad, but certainly when you look at the figure from the side, it's just very elf looking, I guess. Otherwise, though, as expected, your eyebrows, your eyes are painted in right where they need to be. Figure does come with a removable helmet. It has a very snug fit over the head. And I think with the helmet on, everything still looks pretty proportional. The helmet itself is done in that yellow tinted plastic. Definitely not getting a painted visor here, and that's really great to see. So you do see a little bit of those eyes showing through underneath. And then the rest of that helmet, as you would expect then, is painted black. It's got some red painting being done in there. Some very faint yellow looking stripes running across the top through the back of the helmet. And a nice red Rebel Alliance symbol being painted just off center. Overall, paint detailing I think is looking really good. So I certainly have nothing to complain about on that one. As for the upper half of the body, you're getting pretty much what you expect to see of an X-Wing pilot. Got the orange flight suit with the white vest. Certainly a bunch of wrinkles and folds being done in the fabric. And I think a pretty nice orange color overall to that flight suit. On that white vest, couple details here that are just, I mean, it's being pretty nitpicky, but you're not getting the text being placed underneath the Rebel Alliance symbol on the left side of his vest. And then down on his right side, that pouch that I mentioned, it's sculpted in too high instead of kind of dangling off the bottom of that vest. Again, I mean, it's getting pretty nitpicky. Otherwise, though, the painting of it, not bad. It's staying right where it needs to be, that very light tan coloring. And then also, really, my final complaint with this figure as a whole is the bicep portion of his shoulder is far too short in my opinion. Comparing him with a recent release of Luke Skywalker, which I feel the arms are more proportional to where they need to be, you can certainly see there's a size difference between the two bicep portions of the arm. Through his hands, you got some black painting being done for the gloves, and for the most part, the painting is okay, although it already does look a little worn on mine. That orange underneath is not completely covered. And then one thing I noticed about the hands of this figure as I was trying to place the weapon in there is his hands are a very hard plastic. So even trying to slide that weapon in there or trying to get him to hold on to his helmet was a little bit of a challenge to really work those into position. Chest box at the center there looks really nice. Paint job very well done with some nice black in the center, a couple thin black lines being done, and then various buttons being painted in using different colors. Some darker gray, some blues, and then running from the bottom of that is a very soft black tube that runs down to a pocket in his thigh. Around his waist and running down around his legs. He has some nice gray straps being sculpted on there, with just some ever so slight silver buckle detailing being done for some paint placement. And then even on the back side of the figure, you got two little, buttons or snaps or something painted silver in there. It's a nice little added touch of detailing. I like that. He's got a holster on the right side of his hip that you can slide his blaster into. And as we work down to the bottom of this figure, those flight suit pant legs are looking pretty good. All the various orange parts from the legs, the chest, the arms match up pretty well. You still have a lot of sculpting being done for the placement of some various wrinkles and folds showing off the flowing fabric. Various pockets being sculpted on the pant legs as well. And I guess code sticks or whatever that we're used to seeing wrapped around his left leg. Some nice silver painting. Pretty decent gray painting, little bit of a slop here and there going over the lines. probably much more noticeable when you're looking tighter with the camera than what you're going to see to the naked eye. And I gotta say, I like the little silver buckle detailing being done for those straps that are running around the legs also. And then of course for the feet, gray boot sculpted in there. Not really much to say about that. As far as articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so you're going to get your full swivel, some nodding up and down, tilting side to side. At the shoulders, they raise up 90 degrees and you got your full rotation in there. Hinge at the elbows bring you to almost a 90-degree bend, a little bit shy of that, and then you got your swiveling in there. Both wrists only have swivel articulation. Swivel at the waist underneath that vest. With that tube running to the flight vest, of course, that is going to, limit some of the rotation that you get. And then at the hip, you got your ball and hinge joint for each leg at the top. And even with those straps running down from the belt, they do not hinder any of your movement there. Single joint bend at the knee plus the rotation in there. And at the ankles, you got some rocking forward and back, once again being a little limited by the pant legs of the flight suit. But you do have your full rotation also. As far as accessories, I already talked about the helmet, but he does come with a small blaster. Not a ton of sculpting being done with this, but just enough to kind of make out some various parts, the small barrel at the end and whatever that would be along the top of the blaster and a little indented piece at the bottom. It's just done in the gray plastic, so no special painting or anything. And once you get those fingers pried open enough, you can certainly, place it in either hand, and he holds the weapon well. And if you don't want him holding it, it'll certainly slide into that holster on his right side. So overall for me, this is a really good figure. It's, in my opinion, the best Poe Dameron figure that we've received so far in the 3 3/4 inch line, and it is helped by that photoreal face painting technology. But if you don't really care about that new photoreal face painting that is being done on this figure, and you already have the Walmart exclusive 3 3/4 inch Black Series from a few years ago, then like I said earlier, probably no reason to upgrade. Or unless you're a carded collector and you want it on that vintage card back. So that wraps up this review. Definitely let me know what your thoughts are on this figure in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching.